I'm at ignoring stage, right?
You're
Until they prove me wrong.
A hostage to Cloud9.
I'm going for the other team.
That's maybe for the best. We'll see if Cloud9 can impress, though, at the end of this series with a T-side. T-sides have been difficult, let's say, in this series for both squads. So Cloud9, a pistol, would go a hell of a long way. Little B-pop. JDC stays on the balcony, but maybe not for the best. Hobbit knocks him out of the round. Torshi on the cross shots, connects one, but he couldn't drop the bomb with all those nades. Buster will make it in.
Yeah, 4v4 retake in at the B site here. MOUZ, bulk of their forces coming from the market side. You do have xertioN committed to a flank through lower. But if you end up waiting for him, it's all going to end up hinging on this fight versus nafany, who's holding for it right now. And he's going to win that. The rest of the gang get out through market, but they don't last long. Reduced to dust by Cloud9. It's just Torshi left. Started the round with a kill on this USP. But now trying to find a way in this clutch, it's asking too much. And so Cloud9 collect the pistol round with a little B-pop.
And I agree, very important round for them to win because T-side rounds have been hard to come by for both teams. Mirage a little bit more open, a little bit easier maybe to have a strong T-side. Yeah, JDC may be a little bit overzealous. He doesn't want to give up too much territory in case they're just faking presence and he wants to have that information. But when you die so quickly, you're not in a position to buy any time for your teammates for the rotate to come in. This is a fast B split. The MOUZ opened with 3 guys towards B.
Ooh, they spot it con, but it's too late. The nades are out, and at least it's a warning signal. nafany eats a grenade with a scout tag as well.
Fall back.
He falls, and yeah, they have to make a new mind up.
Shiro
swapped spots, but he did comment along. Hobbit was ready, and Shiro went back inside the smoke, so he couldn't even catch the man throwing the flash. Where's he gone?
I like that he's gone so quick here. He recognizes they had no idea he was in that smoke, and so he uses that to just throw all the timings through a bit of a loop. And I mean, now you've got control of A. Cloud9 might have gone down a man to open up the round with that nade scout combo onto nafany at short, but they'll hold it together. They don't lose a single man past that. And so it's a nice recovery in this round, in part thanks to Shiro hitting that very clean timing through the con smoke.
It's true, but it was a good call from Cloud9 to abort the B split, right? Like, sometimes it's difficult to make that call because you invested a lot of utility. You made the call from freeze, spawn, like in freeze time, but that scout would have been, very difficult to get rid of. There's no smokes really obstructing his vision. He can keep tagging you. There's a third player there, which, obviously they probably didn't know about, but could have been a sticky situation they get themselves out of. And Groove is standing, so he's hyped.
Yeah, he's been standing most of the series, actually. So an ode to the importance of this matchup, another quarterfinal. These two teams meet each other in. Cloud9 trying to change the script this time around. Spawn smokes into mid. Lobbing them all in. MOUZ lose their info. Scout and Galil are going to boost xertioN up, get inside of the ladder. Quick with a deagle, but nafany might skirt on by. That's a smooth kill. nafany has looked good this series individually, Yanko. Found a lot of gaps on T side, back on Vertigo. And what a time to come alive, especially considering we have this trio of Shiro, Axel, and Hobbit, all as top performers of the Pro League so far.
Yeah, that used to be his bread and butter, ramp on both sides being very difficult to deal with. I like some of the bits he said, in that in the interview, right, saying, well, I'm only 21 years old. Yeah. I don't know who was the best in-game leader at 21, which is a fair point. As Frozen's doing some work here.
Yeah, this has gotten a little weird very, very quickly. Frozen with this saved Galil, he is getting wrapped. Axel going to shoot him in the back, and so the odds of doing much in this round go out the window with that kill there. They mop up Dexter over on short. Cloud9 regain control again.
That's an interesting conversation because we mentioned it earlier in the cast. Who is or was the best and youngest in-game leader? Relatively, of course. Like, what's the highest height a young in-game leader has reached? In my brain, I think like Navi's 21 run with Boomich. How was he? He was
I think
20, 19?
if you look at the age, then probably you go to Boomage. If you look at the teams who were #1, but again, that's a weird one because of, you know, that Blade is really involved there. But this is the same case here, right? Like, I mean, I imagine Groove is super involved. They're going for another faster round, Cloud9. They're just going to go out A. Slowly creep out.
Yeah. Dexter, this barrel may give him away on the A1S. Hobbit finds him walking out of ramp, so a free opening kill and a lot of space here for Cloud9. xertioN's in a box right now. He's caged in Con. We'll go for that peek as the smoke comes in. They didn't see him. Frozen, they have no idea right now. They are not aware of this possibility, but Nafany checks it late. Why would he check that after looking so far into spawn? Every kill comes in for Cloud9 as they've really let themselves off the leash in this T side.
I like that you said that because that's what I wanted to see from them. I want them to play unleashed in this series, right? Especially because of what happened in Rio. And this round is a great example of just the little things. Like rounds like this is all they need to add to their game, right? So that they're not super one-dimensional, so that they're more unpredictable. You could see like MOUZ was completely almost caught off guard by that call. They're doing so much default that you throw the same smokes and then the players are, you know, they're a little bit relaxed in their seats. They don't expect anything to happen for another 20, 30 seconds. And all of a sudden they already crept out and found an entry kill on Dexter, who was completely unsuspecting. So that's all you need. That's all you need, so that when someone watches your game, they come out and they say, well, actually, you know, they throw these mid smokes. They have this round where they just creep out ramp, or maybe they creep out A-app. So yeah, maybe they're just defaulting, but they could also be faking a default and exploding A. So that keeps your, you know, that makes your opponents be on their toes. That makes the A anchor, you know, maybe can't save his utility as much as he'd like. That makes your opponents be sometimes a little bit more active, which you can, again, use to your advantage. You can play a more defensive default and punish some of their aggression. Like, it gives you a lot more options. It was the same thing we were saying about Navi 2 years ago, about Outsiders last year. You know, all these teams have been making these upgrades, adding these things that makes them more dangerous to play against.
Half up for MOUZ around this saved M4. They wanted to fight for middle, but Molly's will beckon them back to the bomb site. And it's very spread for Cloud9, waiting to punish.
Yeah, the only thing that's a bit of a shame is that hero gun being on JDC. Obviously, he's the B anchor, apartments man. So this gun's pretty locked in over here. If this ends up, you know, culminating in an A play, it's all going to come down to how well the pistols fare as to whether or not you get to see this M4 even involved in the round. There is a shot at a 1v1 versus Axile in the apartments, but I don't imagine he goes much further than this. He's kind of just here patrolling, making sure that they don't take space away in the B apartments. Idiutil goes out now as well. One in the window, one over towards the top of Connector. And we might even have Nafany try to make a move up behind this smoke. Not uncommon to see players come through it. Makes his presence known. Dexter dead back in the spawn. There's the opener. Hobbit has secured it. One more man inside of the A site. And his time's limited on that smoke fade. xertioN is a dead man. And so Cloud9 have already won the round. Now it's just a matter of, can you knock out the big ticket item of this M4?
And sure, you know, MOUZ will try to save the M4, save the armor on the remaining players. They're going to run into Exile here, who is in a good spot.
The jump is great, and he couldn't even hit the flying Frozen either. So JDC's perfectly set up for that kill.
This is a small win for MOUZ. The problem is also the money on Cloud9 is becoming ridiculous soon enough. There's going to be a couple of players who have over 10K. Gives them, again, more options. They can take more risks in terms of calling and just opening plays and whatever it is that the players want to do. Shiro again doing a lot of the talking.
A lot of that for Cloud9.
That was really cool when, you know, I talked to Groove and Hobbit, I think it was Cologne last year, and was talking about Shiro and saying, how much does he contribute, because we can't know, he doesn't really speak English, he doesn't participate in many interviews. Like, he talks a lot, like, he talks the most in the mid round, helps a lot in the theory crafting stage too. So it was really cool to get that. Up until that time, we thought this guy's just fragging, he's just out there.
It gives even more credit as well, especially when we often talk about like AWPing in-game leaders, like how difficult that is, even though he's not in-game leading necessarily, like how difficult it is for someone like xertioN to deal with micro, and that is a team that inhibits a lot of micro and heroic, while he's also staring down his scope and his crosshair so much of the time. That's a blinder of an opener for Shiro ahead of the smoke, and they fall into ramp. That flash did nothing to Hobbit, tucked in on the left side, and Cloud9 right now, even with a B pick, they're walking up con. They've got jungle, boys. They are everywhere and nowhere at once. MOUZ don't have a clue.
Yeah, no audio jungle either. Full silent on the walk up. Axal with the backstab. Torshi spammed out a triple. And so this is a done deal. Frozen, he's like moving around to tease us with the idea that he's going to look at the bomb site, but I doubt he even gets close enough, especially not with Axal crept into this corner. This is... I think
he's more worried about someone being super close to hunt him than, he's not considering the round. He just knows even saving in this situation will be difficult.
Doesn't want to give them everything. Oh, I'm scared that they're going to walk in last second. But his off angle's pretty tasty. There's a flash, and he just dies. Gotta stay calm here for MOUZ, because Cloud9 right now are writing this script.
And here you can see, right? So they're 5-0 up. You're on the CT side. You feel a little bit pressured. What are you going to do first? Here again, okay, you don't expect an op to be there, but maybe it's not common for Cloud9, but he's there, and then that's it. You're just in a 4v5 situation. Then, regardless of that kill, they were trying to get some information on ramp. So what Cloud9 is doing is just a defensive default, trying to punish any sort of plays from MOUZ. MOUZ goes for the plays. They punish them. Easy gun round, right? You didn't really have to do much, and you're 6-0 up.
Shiro went for fist bumps, and he lifted both of his fists, like one on left, one on right. But he sits on the end.
Yeah, he's not. He was Buster is, right? Like he was in the middle.
Is he not used to that? Like,
I don't think
oh wait,
so.
no, one hand. So natural.
That's when the coach comes in clutch and goes to the other side.
Sneaks round, or the cameraman maybe. Torshi's up, out and about. Shiro, every round a different opening attempt, trying to keep MOUZ guessing. Torshi's coming late on Cat. He scoped early, so he has to walk his way there as to not give the B players the information. It's very important. That's even something that has become more and more common over the last couple of years, like scoping very early before you get into positions. And I guess it's more like map dependent, like a map like Vertigo as well, with the scope getting heard from everywhere. You're scoping CT sometimes and walk to A, or scoping middle, vice versa. Mid-control taken, and MOUZ lose vision.
This is where it gets tricky for MOUZ, okay? So we got punished for some aggression. Now we're playing more passive. Torji picked a good spot on Cat, finds a kill. Cloud9 is just defaulting. So this is where, if you're MOUZ, you need to stay disciplined, keep piecing the puzzle together, right? Still have some utility saved. 45 seconds on the clock. Not too much time for Cloud9 to operate here.
Yeah, they're cognizant about the gap in mid, though, right, and the knowledge that Cloud9 had it, so they're still paying it mind, which is big. Hobbit now giving up the aim of the game. They know that there's a man up connector. Torshi starts to spring his attention this way with the AWP, knocks out Axal. Still a con man in play, but Hobbit's being accounted for. And so this round starts to take shape for MOUZ. That one's free. They give Shiro the first, but they go hunting. And Frozen swings out with the trade. So it takes MOUZ a little while, but they finally piece it together. As you pointed out, it was a nice angle from Torshi in the mid-hold. It was a far more passive look from MOUZ, where they weren't going seeking for those early fights. And I think a lot of that, is just kind of the residue of how the last round panned out, right? This idea of, we kind of went on like 2 info scouting missions on either side of the map, and we failed both of them. And that just gives Cloud9 such a blanket to fall into. So they know that there's been some of these defensive default-looking rounds from the Cloud9 squad, and they respond to it by being fairly passive themselves. This round, it's a bit of mid-aggression. So MOUZ are back on at aggro BS.
Yeah, I like this setup as well, xertioN. Very hard angle to clear, obviously. Dangerous if torchie loses his vision or loses a fight, and suddenly xertioN can just get swung from under and over at the same time. And have that mid-util come in. Cloud9 trying to take middle back now. nafany and Hobbit on the move. There is an underplayer. He's taking his time to get in position, though. xertioN walking up. Oh, the unscope? What? And full blind is xertioN. He still gets away with a kill. You'll take it. torchie kind of hung him out to dry there. Don't know what that timing was. Or maybe a misclick. A 3-on-3 now. torchie, if he swung there, he would have died. Shiro was on it. torchie calling for a flash, perhaps. Frozen could throw one over from behind, but Shiro's abandoned the position, and Hobbit tucked in on chair. X is not clearing it. Easy kill. 3-on-2. Cloud9 going to group on A.
It's a bit brutal, that decision to peek out wide at mid. Oh, torchie. He's had a couple of opportunities in this round. This is going to hurt. If this is why it all falls apart, and it is.
Oof.
Frozen's left saving. I kind of feel for Frozen in this one, man. So many rounds have just ended like this with him.
Vertigo.
Impossible clutch. Can't even justify giving it a look in while he's getting hunted the whole time.
Timing's good for him, though, I think. He'll probably check stairs. Oh, I said it. Yeah, there it is. Phew. But, yeah, it's not always obvious where the problems arose, but that round, they were pretty clear.
Yeah, rough one for torchie. I mean, they were set up for that, basically. You know, like that's where you're strong. We're strong on mid. They're coming mid. You fumble around maybe a little bit. Maybe it's the fat fingers, you know, like it happens to all of us.
Yeah, we've all pressed the wrong button.
The wrong button. The grenade sticks sometimes, right? It's just unfortunate that it's in such a crucial point in the game, and it probably ends up costing them the round.
I mean, it's Counter-Strike timing. How long do you think he was holding that angle? Over 30 seconds without moving, and then the second they come is when he unscopes.
You know, now that you look at it, I think Cloud9 was, to an extent, expecting perhaps even that exact setup because it's common, right? You could see there was 4 guys there for them fighting for mid control. So
they had good flashes. I mean, xertioN was, I'm surprised he took one with him. He was in the middle of mid, and they bounced a flash right in front of the boxes. So it was a good take for Cloud9, looking very comfortable on this third map. And as we've said already, this is a very different veto to the one back in Rio. Nice shot for nafany. Did miss the jump, but maybe to his benefit as he finds Dexter up in the window. Now it's MOUZ against the wall. Sweating indeed in a 3-on-5.
Some freebies there for nafany.
Yeah, just farms them up, just collects them from middle.
Oh, nice spot.
MOUZ have paid their debts. And with 2 players over here towards B. Oh dear, xertioN will get traded. But now the real nature of this round is unveiled, right? xertioN was nothing more than a bit of a ruse, bit of a fake over towards B. torchie once again in a position where he could have a bit of influence here. But after that first shot misses, and now you know that Cloud9 own that angle looking into CT, he doesn't want to risk re-swinging. And so it's going to be another save here for MOUZ. Locked out of the round. You know, you can kind of feel the desperation setting in. There's a lot of forced fights where MOUZ players are feeling like, okay, we just need to win one of these. I have to kind of try and deliver in this moment. And it's making engagements come through that you might not get otherwise. And, you know, you see the ramifications when nafany gets that kill running amok down through middle. Just what it does to MOUZ, how it starts to shuffle other players around the map. It forces peaks elsewhere because you don't want to feel like you've gone 4v5 for nothing. And Cloud9 are just so ready for these reactions.
Oh, no.
torchie, he's missing a lot right now.
And this is the criticism for torchie, because this is what people have been saying, right? Oh, if MOUZ want to get that next level, they need a new AWP, they need a consistent piece. And torchie has had a couple of games, important matches on stages where he's gone cold, but like, right, he's not had a bad series at all. Right now, in crunch time, in one of the best maps for a CTAWP, and he's had a lot of shots, hasn't he, Yanko? He has not hit any.
Well, he's had some misses for sure that have been rough.
I saw that. it's not the time to go cold for MOUZ.
At this point, MOUZ is aware, you know, like they're not winning this half. They're just trying to salvage it. If they can, you know, 4 rounds at this point is a win with how things are going, right? Just give yourself a chance, give yourself some minimal room for mistakes in the second half, right? Because if it's 11-4 and you win the pistol convert, you win the first gun round, well, all of a sudden it's 11-9.
Yeah, you're like
this
right
is so
there
terrible,
again.
and you could be in the situation that Cloud9 is in, right? Have a lot of money in the bank, even if you lose a round, but kill 4 players, 3 players, they're in reset territory, you win that round, all of a sudden it's 12-11. And the pressure is on them because they had the big lead. Like, that's what Counter-Strike is, like a momentum-based game. So MOUZ don't have any at the moment, but you're not gonna find it by just trying to go for these individual fights, right? Like taking these duels that present themselves to you, but you know, you don't need to take that fight. You can just keep playing on the round. Try to get more information. Maybe there's a play to be made as a team or with your teammates.
Yeah, I think at this point you almost have to acknowledge that, like, the Cloud9 you're up against are like just exuding confidence because, you know, like, no shit, they're 10-1 up, right? They're like running away with the game. So you're like facing off against an opponent who, in their mind, like every fight you're going to give them, they're going to win.
Yeah.
And so I think, yeah, there just needs to be a little bit more maybe like nuance to some of these engagements that they're trying to force, right? Whether that's like teeing someone up with like a sick bit of util, you know, trying to just come together a little bit more with how they play some of these really important fights.
Take a gamble, you know, play 4A, try to send an AWP on his own towards B to take like the deeper angle. Right, like try something like that. Maybe go more aggressive on mid with players, not instantly, but you know, flash plays over mid. It's a double molly as well in ramp, you know.
Communication is falling apart.
You just need to try to do those things, even though Cloud9 might expect them. You know, you're 9-1 down. You have to try something.
Oh, just full commits to the spray.
Can't even blame him.
Hobbit down to 4.
Yeah. It's the new A1S in action, but also, yeah, some missed shots. And xertioN, he was a tank, man. He was destroying on Vertigo. So one player MOUZ could rely on. And now, very different game, a very different vein here for MOUZ. Cloud9 have cut the artery. Frozen's on top. This is a good position. Could catch Nafany, go for a con fight, but even then he throws his util. He backs up short. Torshi, front of the Molotov. Frozen, it should be 1. He'll take it. It's wide. Buster ready to trade. Torshi with a missed shot, trying to escape through the smoke. And Frozen saves the day. Finally for MOUZ, a hero arrives. But is there time to win this one? Bomb is in B.
Yeah, when you get aided like that over on short from the B site, you know that it's been lost. You know that it's been taken. So they start to scramble around. Everyone through the murder hole into the market. Hobbit has pushed in close to the window, trying to play this crossfire with Axile.
No.
Hope they don't shoot each other.
What a
Hobbit's got
spot.
4 HP, but yeah, this double close peek is not what you're going to be expecting.
Wow.
And Axile and Hobbit destroy MOUZ in the 2v3 post plant.
That is a beautiful way to play a 2v3, and to think that they read MOUZ's reposition, because that's such a dangerous spot, because if you get retake from short, you lose. But they just read that Frozen would completely reset. In that 2-on-3, they send a nade up, and Frozen, of course, groups with his team, as he should. And that's just so nice. That's so nice.
That spray down wasn't pretty from Hobbit, but it
No.
was better than what xertioN had.
Sure.
And yeah, this is just an example of everything's going Cloud9's way at this point. You know, they can do no wrong. That setup could have been punished, but they all come from kitchen, winning all the duels, all the 50-50 fights. So,
Ouch.
You know, I mean, I think it makes sense that Frozen's like the one guy with a bit of form to his name right now. The young veteran for a reason, even takes one out there. Like, that is such a cooked scenario. He does so well to even go 1-for-1, but the problem is I see him fall and I'm like, well, the round's probably lost now. Everyone else is looking a bit lost in the sauce.
2.
Hey. Hobbit low on health again, but it's never been a problem for this guy. He's just squeaking through every round with like 3 HP left.
Shiro has some of the coolest flashes in the game as well. Keeps lobbing that one from ramp, some nice lineups. And they're able to swing with it, take one more
Dude,
kill.
like
and
he's
decides
already
the
hunting.
round.
It's a
He has an AWP.
2v3, and he has an AWP, and he's already hunting, and he's been hunting for a while. He just up and left.
Hello.
Oh, hey, JDC. That's sad, isn't it? Why is he there? That's all you're
Why
saying.
is the AWPer there? Already going for the chase.
Well, Toshi will save at least. That's all MOUZ are allowed in an 11-1 game. Yankee, you said they were desperately fighting for 4. Well, that's now the maximum available, and I have nothing in me saying that MOUZ is going to find that. These have all been bomb explosions as well for Cloud9. They've forced so many saves. MOUZ have had the gun rounds, they've had the chances, and the washing feeling of just disappointment for MOUZ, I imagine, after a very hard-fought series, an incredible Inferno. Their CT side was a lockout, and right now they can't even really find kills. Double AWP on the T side, sign of the times.
I think this is a situation where it's like for MOUZ, Frozen, he's been giving me faith because he's like,
oh dude.
Well,
dude, no.
That's so sad. Just tries to jump peek for the info and gets nailed.
It's not an easy shot either.
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
an AWPer, but you wouldn't know.
Dude, yeah, like Frozen
That's
has
one
been
of those games,
yeah,
Hugo.
Frozen's been like one of the guys who just hasn't been given over like opening fights a hell of a lot. He was like the dude left in a lot of the 1v3s, 1v4s, saving. And so that to me is like screaming that he's not feeling like that desperate right now. He's able to like keep doing his own thing, keep it pretty safe. But everyone else is still like feeling this pressure to get involved. And with this round, with him being over towards B, if the A-hole doesn't come through, if they don't trade, it's going to be another save where Frozen is just left staring at a lost bomb site, holding onto his gun.
The setup is nice, but if Hobbit drops, he can shred it. If he has a silent drop, even better. He won't. He'll just go loud. Torshi hits his head as a result, and xertioN trying to cover the Palace push as Torshi finally has a round, 2 to the good, and he gets out back to default. It's up to Axel to milk this for all it's worth. Try and get a quick flanking window. This could be something. If he made that jump, now xertioN's in position to hear it. Shira around the world and back again.
I know there's 2A. The
20
temptation
seconds.
might just be there to try and barrel into B, right?
gotta
You're
run.
probably assuming maybe a bit of an over-rotate from MOUZ on it. So at worst, you know
Frozen.
there's one guy here.
Frozen
wins
still
it.
on the
He
bomb.
wins it.
Yeah,
he
just
wins.
sat on the box playing and deny the plant. They will never check for this. And so that's the round right there. MOUZ in with their second. It takes them a long old time. And it's Torshi to do a lot of the heavy lifting in that moment, right? And I do think he's a pretty confidence-based AWPer. I think his confidence was called into question a lot throughout this match with the 11-1 scoreline that Cloud9 built up. But that round felt good. And maybe that can give him a bit of a push for the last 2 rounds. And then that 4-11 scoreline is still a possibility, Yanko.
It is, Harry, and while there's a chance, you have to keep fighting. You have to keep believing, right? Now a faster mid-control round from Cloud9. Whoa, okay.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
That was
Torshi.
I had no idea they were that close.
That was a really fast flick down to Nafany. He just got deleted.
And Nafany's been finding a lot of picks in middle. Oh dear, look at this though, Axel. With the smoke, good check for xertioN. This is the chance to find these 4 rounds right at the end for MOUZ. But again, like every Cloud9 player is deeper than you would expect. Hobbit's up on Tetris, they don't know. Dexter.
Oh, he's seen him. He's seen him.
Nice clear. Now, if Cloud9 win this one, that's when we've got a problem. But
Yeah,
2v4.
but they can't. They shouldn't. They won't.
Yeah, will it into existence, Harry. Go on.
It just can't happen here.
As good as they've been.
No,
As much as
MOUZ are
they've
too
given
well
us.
set up, all right?
This is a MOUZ round.
This is a MOUZ round, and I'm fully prepared to call it ahead of time because you've got the AWP set up on top of Ticket.
Oh, yeah?
Shiro shouldn't be ready for this.
Oh, yeah?
Should not ever be ready for this. And he'll get tagged. Sure, not quite finished off.
Oh, yeah?
And Buster's going to get one more kill, but the trades are coming through.
Check this.
MOUZ have just got too many bodies here for anything to come up for Cloud9. Buster onto another, but the bomb drop behind him at ramp, and there's the double swing. So MOUZ sealed the deal on that round. 3 now. 3 now for MOUZ.
Is 4 enough?
It's the most they can get, Hugo. That's all that matters, right? I would say no, it's not enough considering how well Cloud9 has been playing, or rather, you know, I think for MOUZ is their first line of defense has been failing them the whole half.
Yes.
Right? Like JDC dies on B, xertioN dies in con or in mid, Dexter dies in mid or in A, and you're always playing from behind. Either you're losing map control or you're down a man or two man. It's like really difficult to climb out of that, and here's a storming round from Cloud9.
Oh, flex round now for Cloud9 as they run out ramp and palace at the same time. The bombs B. Axel's trying to find his little window of opportunity, but JDC has an impossible angle to clear right now. Let's see where Axel's looking. Not at this box. He did check it,
He's actually
but it doesn't matter. This is going to be MOUZ finding 4 at the end of the half. They get the bare minimum, but is it going to be enough? This is the quarterfinal. This is the culmination, and it's all coming up after the break. Who goes forward to face one more matchup? Is it Cloud9 or is it MOUZ? Stay tuned in to find out.
I'm smashing on the gas, gas, gas. It's a fast life. It's a fast life. Keeping it moving, don't switch up my code. Life full of circles, we out the A4. It's a fast life. Look, yeah, I'm about to ride it till the wheels fall off. Yeah, I'm about to run the game, I ain't never dropping off. Let's be talking about a bag. Put a duffel on the dash, she don't really but a swap. Heavy foot up on the gas with it. Trunk tracks with the cash in it. Passionate, long range when I'm passing it. All drive, I ain't stopping unless I'm crashing it. And even that wouldn't stop me from going after it.
These are the moments, only got one life. This is your moment, whether wrong or right. You're your own enemy, your own enemy, your own enemy. Yeah. When I fall, I keep running. Feel the pain, but I love it. Yeah.
You know I'm built for it, you ain't gotta ask twice. You ain't by that fast life. 100 on the dash with the cash light. You ain't by that fast life. Big dog status with your stats like. You ain't by that fast life. Just know 100 duffels is the bag price. You ain't by that fast life. 6 speed, yeah, I'm smashing on the gas, gas, gas. It's a fast life. It's a fast life. Keeping it moving, don't switch up my code. Life full of circles, we out the A4. It's a fast life.
Papa, je suis à la mer, je suis au boulot. Check. Je vais mettre les choses au clair. Rafale de rime, y'a tout le monde à terre. Comme je charbonne jusqu'à pas d'heure, je me déplace plus si c'est pas pour un gros salaire. Je suis à la mer, je suis au boulot. Remballe ton verre, je bois au goulot. Le chemin est tracé, je roule. J'avance, mais le passé est lourd. La vie n'est qu'ironie, l'amour est tyrannique. Je suis peut-être né anonyme, mais je mourrai iconique. L'industrie est hypocrite, l'adversaire est pathétique. Purée, je suis trop affamé. Si je me dépasse, c'est que pour la famille. Je suis venu que pour remporter la finale et pour mon...
Making magic when they need it most. Of the first 12 rounds played, Cloud9 picked up 11 of them to put up this 11-4 scoreline. MOUZ able to course correct right near the end and find 4. It's not a lot to go off of, but it does give them the tiniest of margins in this second half. Not impossible, but it does somewhat need to start with a pistol. That would be a huge shove in the right direction. In that first half, it was kind of the dream scenario you painted for MOUZ, was if they win the pistol here, maybe they win that first gun round as well, suddenly they can start to equalize this game out.
Well, maybe not a dream scenario, but least nightmarish.
Least nightmarish.
So we'll see. Almost the same pistol round. We'll see how Cloud9 handles it, Hugo.
Hoppity hippity into the site. JDC gets his head popped though. Axel tucked in tight. And xertioN will trade. They've got to get in. Buster, back of the boxes here. He will find two more with the bomb loose as well. That smoke gave him a little bit of room as MOUZ were forced to run through the grave. Buster will get sniped from behind. It's now even odds. 2v2. Nothing up here, Frozen. They're not going to go for the plant. They need these kills, and they know Cloud9 have surrounded them. Waiting for the time to strike. Hobbit might creep through the window, and Frozen denies it. Very important kill. Frozen's been the saving grace in this game for MOUZ at times. Now it's him and Torshi in a 2v1. As long as they 3-2-1 it, Shiro can't win this round. Don't let him isolate.
Dude, Shiro is keen with the pistols. No, don't give him the chance. The comeback was going to start with anyone. It had to start with Frozen, and he will hold on.
Oh my God.
Wins that 1v1. Stops Shiro in his tracks. And keeps the dream alive for MOUZ. A big pistol from the young veteran. As he finds 5. Maybe there can be that second wind for MOUZ in this map yet.
Ooh. You get scared there for a second.
Yeah, especially when because it was Dexter with xertioN, I think, who were double peeking the guy behind side, but it didn't seem like he swung wide enough, so that player got 2 1v1s.
Yeah, the smoke helped.
Definitely, so we'll see. This is, again, crucial for MOUZ to convert. It's even worse if they lose this round after winning pistol. Little block there from Nafany to try to create this gap so he gets information. MOUZ should pre-fire this. Yeah,
I saw him. Oh dear, helped xertioN more than it helped Nafany, to be honest. Deagle on short, nice connection. He sees one more, he knows they're coming. Axel on a dive, spinning, and JDC will drop in. Buster kind of baiting here, but he needs a multi-kill to make it worthwhile, and it won't work. He hid in the van, they thought they cleared it. 3-on-1, the plant comes in, and Hobbit, hey, he can send it. Why not? Give it a go.
Oh, trying to get out. That is such awkward timing on that, man. He was, hoping that someone would come and face him, and maybe he gets out with a gun. Then you saw, like, the change of his mind midway through. He's like, I'll just save the CZ, and tries to leave. And that's right as he gets swung. All right, so MOUZ found the conversion, you know, and there were moments where that was kind of on a knife's edge. I was worried. Axel just looked like he had the clean movement about him over towards short. They did well to shut him down, and they also stopped Buster from milking that bad Molotov in at the van.
That was the dangerous one, right? Because you're thinking it's clear, and he could get a multi-kill there, but fast trade from MOUZ was crucial.
Dexter gets to farm a bit of money here.
Yeah, he needs it. He needs some confidence, Harry, right? Like, he didn't have a good first half at all. He's had some great deciders for MOUZ, you know, great Mirage performances. We talked about the ENTS one in Rio that got them into the playoffs of the major. And he's going to need to deliver some really good calls. It's going to be incredibly difficult to come back from the T side, right? Cloud9 knows exactly how many rounds they need. They can go into those saves, the infamous saves. So you really need to be on point if you're Dexter.
Oh, Cloud9 with a confident rifle round. They've sent 3 into window. A quick jump for Nafany. He's going to have to dodge a flash, but he will catch the AWP. Poor Torshi. What can he do about that one? Dexter will use this mid-smoke to trade the kill out, but it still sits in the favor of Cloud9. The molly should decide it. Axel just bounces out in time, and because Dexter was throwing the molly, he couldn't shoot the smoke. That's very fortunate for Axel. MOUZ still have this mid control, and they want to pinch B together. Dexter trying to sneak behind the smoke on short. Cloud9. Oh, they get caught boosting up. Now they know Buster, he's going to get dropped on. 2v2 now, the bomb is late.
Yeah, the bomb is super late, so this is a bit of a solo mission, a bit of a single-player game for JDC.
Hello.
If he wins this fight, that might seal the deal on numbers alone. Yeah. Hobbit also moving in. Trying to take up arms in the market, spots JDC, but can't get that kill. Molly reigns in, Hobbit's already ahead of it, forces him out onto that swing.
He's looking for the kit. It went out the market, though, as we can see.
No, he's not going to find you a kill. He'll just grab that AWP and look to get out of there. And that's why it's so nice that JDC doesn't commit to that fight. Also, look at where the kit went.
Well, there's one here.
That's a little brutal. But yeah, you know, I like the JDC gets that one, and then he knows, like in the 2v1, as long as I don't offer up the chance to trade, as long as I don't, you know... Oh my God.
No, it doesn't
How
exist.
have they been
Ghost
this screwed by the kids?
Ghost.
One fell and clipped behind the boost box, and the other is under the map.
Is it under the map, or does it just like... Didn't look like it was under the map. It looked like... I don't even know.
That was a really important 3v4 for MOUZ to convert, right? They need that momentum. We talked about it in the first half. Harry, some of the win conditions for MOUZ. And I like the play from Hobbit too, to save the op, right? You give it to Shiro, he's been amazing. 4 guys just buy upgraded pistols, you know, like there's something to be done for Cloud9. And just that fact is going to make MOUZ play a little bit more timid, perhaps. You know, like it completely changes this round now for them and how they're going to approach it. Nafany with the UMP. We'll see what they have in store for us.
A weird buy, but one that Shiro can always win for Cloud9. Outram through the smoke. Dexter leading the fray.
Yeah, you know, I think Shiro makes a lot more plays nowadays than, you know, he did even like a year ago. But I think these rounds always are especially exciting because, you know, he's kind of forced to be a bit of a playmaker, right? He's got the hero AWP.
Nice.
And will he get involved? Because right now he's just alone in the window room and the A site's already fallen. It wouldn't be a bad idea to hold on to that AWP. And so he should already look to get out of there.
MOUZ's ability to reset is looking really good. Like, these rounds are just super clean. They haven't been upset by the first half. They look very focused right now, knowing this one is within reach. Now, numerically, it is just on the edge. 9 rounds, 2 behind that of Cloud9. The AWP will be saved. Nafany forces that, but even he knows he can't go get the AK because they're everywhere.
Feels like they're getting in the zone slowly, right? And the first round, it was just a default mid-control, trades happen, situational Counter-Strike, they win the 3v4. Well, that's a big one for Nafany, can save the AK now too. Right, so I don't know if that smoke combination that MOUZ uses is something they've done before, right? Or I can't remember last time they played Mirage, or if they added it since their group, right? It's just different. It's not window and top mid, it's top mid and mid slope, right? Like it creates a more
it gives you like
angles,
vertical
right?
one-ways. It lets you like fight on the ramp or fight behind the boxes and get good angles to the short player.
Exactly, right?
It's one that Nip used a lot last year.
Yeah. And the CTs, you know, you want to maybe play behind the smoke. That's like your first instinct, perhaps sometimes. But you know, they spam it a lot, and they deny that play for you.
Oh, what a read as well! That's such a typical AWP opener. Run up cats. I'm coughing over here.
That was smooth.
The run up cats.
Hugo was caught.
But Shiro, instead of being in con, he was even further back, so he's more favored for the fight. He's ready. He's in CT holding. Short side. So good opening round for Shiro. It's passive, but it's also allowing Cloud9 to take the opening pick. They will find a trade.
What does Cloud9 do now? Again, they've given up some control. This is heard by xertioN 100%, you know, and by Dexter probably. So Nafany seems like he was maybe faking it. Now he's coming back. We'll see how MOUZ, do they get the same read? But Cloud9 is playing super passive, you know, in this 4v4. Not having a lot of information, maybe going to just rely on a stack towards the end.
They're making it look like a B hit with that smoke. They want to trade Con, and Hobbit's been caught. Now it's up to Shiro. Oh, missed shot. Rarity here. Will he find more? He couldn't really commit to that one. Nafany gets burnt out. He should not be winning that fight. Shiro has to flick back up to the Palace. They're coming through with a split. 30 seconds. Shiro, pick your targets wisely, and he will. But Frozen over the top shaves him off. Buster swings out for a 1v1, and that's where we find ourselves. Him v the captain with a bomb at his feet. He goes forcing for the fight, and Dexter dies. What an insane play for Buster to make.
Stop pulling out nades in 1v1s, please. He pulled that HE. Bro, is HE really going to like make a difference there?
Maybe. You never know, Yanko. I mean,
don't
that's
know.
crazy. He has a
Even-
bomb. He goes swinging.
Even if it was like
Yeah,
the best
that's true.
HE that you could have thrown, it's not going to do enough damage to kill Buster. He didn't even really know where he was in CT, so it didn't feel worth it. And I think it's a couple of times now in this map that Dexter has been caught doing exactly that, right?
I feel bad for Kassad because if he's watching this, the little hair he has left, he's pulling it out seeing this round. He is one of his pet peeves when we played was just don't pull out your nades in like in club when it's like the time is getting low. Like there's a specific scenario in which you absolutely don't do it, right? Like just have your gun out and leave it to the fight, leave it to the duel.
I mean,
use it. If you haven't remembered to use whatever utility you have by that point, it's too late now, right? Just focus on playing with your teammate or whatever. So
considering he would have actually won that round because Buster didn't run out, he walked out CT. So it's like,
Yeah.
That would have been.
he had no idea Dexter was towards the left.
I think that that's only going to make it more frustrating. Like if you're Dexter, you saw how winnable that was. You just lacked the faculties to deal with it.
But let's forget about my pet peeves. A massive round for MOUZ. If they can get the reset here, it's still worth it, right? They still get a 2-for-1. And they already have a man advantage. Again, winning the mid fight, getting Nafany this time.
That's Cloud9's first round and a half. So build off of it or pay the price. And not just double digits, but control over the economy for MOUZ. That's what they're playing for. B-split's looking good. We do have 2 players still here in a 4v5, but MOUZ have the numbers to trade out. And the best part is, they maybe can slow down at some point, because xertioN can jump window and go on a flank. It's being held. They need to draw Axel out of position. Shiro missed that one. They saw him.
They don't
He's
know.
so blind towards the back of the site. How is he alive? Dexter hasn't found this kill, but JDC will. Axel patiently waits for the flank. It pays off, but is it enough to go for the clutch?
Hell no. That's a save, Hugo. I mean, what's CS Counter-Strike?
It was more just I was building up
the
pickup so you can shut it down and go, no, there's no no, they can't do it. But I could have called that if I really wanted to.
All right, man.
I believe you.
Pretty
Hugo.
knowledgeable.
You're a smart
I've
guy.
played this game before. I've watched a couple of games. Only a couple.
Dude, this is, I think it's so big that unlike in that first half where they were just kind of getting steamrolled and then the one round they put up originally wasn't enough to actually start to bring them back into the fold, it's a good sign of the times that you lose a 1v1 clutch that is a little triggering because you have that hindsight of man, this was so winnable. I did have a bit of a misstep and you could have beaten yourself up about that, but they right their wrongs so quickly here, and it's xertioN and JDC who played a pretty keen role in the whole thing. These were 2 guys who were struggling in that first half. xertioN had so many rounds where he would do 94 damage to someone in some really ugly 20-round spray. This isn't what you normally associate with this guy, right? So it's nice to see him, still having that form factor to come back into the follow-up round, nail the opening down through mid. JDC opened up the B site somewhere he was getting bullied in that first half. So, it's nice that MOUZ had that ability to immediately respond, and now they have a chance to sweeten the deal even more, right? Cloud9 are going to be reinvesting again. That's a given, but they're all in this round. And so you imagine MOUZ win this one, you're onto an eco in the next. Suddenly, this is a tie game from what was, at one point, 11-1 to Cloud9.
Shiro round incoming, maybe. Maybe.
It might have to be, honestly. And that's not how you wanted it to start. He's already brought down half health. Flashed off the mid angle. And MOUZ are looking to fight for this space in mid.
Axel just
He sends his big brother back. Hey, they're bullying me.
Yeah.
Well, they find him regardless. Now they can just speed up.
Oh, that's not a pretty position to spray from. He's shooting into the wall. One step too far, literally. JDC go out behind the van. Do they know?
Buster heard it.
Buster
Right?
heard it, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like they've got nades to flush him out. Axel just commits to his position. You're on your own, buddy. And Buster's going to clear him from above? No, he tucks in jail. They must.
Yeah, no, they know, but I think you don't have util to force him out.
They can. Are they just this willing to be this passive?
This is crazy. But hey, what an off angle for Nafany, and he can even uncrouch to watch apps as well. The shadow coming, he gets his kill. Beautiful patience for Cloud9. I feel like JDC must be thinking they can't know because I have all this time in this position. Ready to uncrouch at a moment's notice. Buster on the car. Early spray for Axel will cost him. He gets a lot of damage though. He set up Cloud9 for the round.
Frozen converts that spray, but it's Buster in at the van again that could just
saw it.
rob around away. They don't know about him here, and so he stops the plant. 25 seconds left, Torshi moving in, but he's got 2 players to find, and he's sandwiched trying to get the bomb down. He's wrapped out through the market, and he's a dead man to Hobbit. Cloud9 up onto 13, and I actually really liked how they responded to JDC getting to the van. You know, it's like if your enemy makes a mistake, you don't need to tell them about it, right? Like you kind of had the edge there. The longer JDC was thinking, oh, they don't know I'm van. Like, you know, they had a nade available, but they never threw it in, and I like that. It wouldn't have been enough to get the kill. You kind of just wait for JDC to sneak into your crosshair, and the knowledge of him being there means the bomb is probably going to try and join him as well, because it's like a power position if he wasn't known about.
It was a trap they sprung.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize Axel was still in ladder room, right? So they didn't have any threat from short.
Who wins this?
Hobbit, probably. Sadly, look at this. I think, yeah, just spams it right on the edge of the smoke. It's too tempting. How could he not?
Now back to the drawing board for MOUZ. They have all of mid, but this is allowed by Cloud9. Shiro's again taking passive angles. He's not really been all too involved in this whole half. But we know, deep down, eventually, his round will come. Holding the window flank with Nafany by his side, reinforced. That's a good flash. Catches Nafany. Now Shiro needs to turn around, but they're coming out of Palace, spilling out ramp. At the same time, miss smoke. Huge problem, huge gap, and xertioN can't cross.
Yeah, he's boxed in now. Someone else might need to try and help him here. He can hold over towards the con if everyone else gets into the site just fine, but the fact that they haven't cleared out Axel doesn't give me a lot of faith here. xertioN dead, and Axel playing the trigger discipline. Now he springs to life to find the 3-on-3. JDC is waiting outside of the connector. Torshi tagged from that previous skirmish versus Hobbit over at ramp has flashed off the angle. And Frozen's looking for a way in out of the palace. Catches Axel moving up. Shiro will trade. They tap the bomb, but it hasn't baited the peek out yet. Torshi will not give them this fight. And with JDC still down in the bottom of connector, firing off a bullet, gives it away, and JDC falls. They're on the bomb now, and Torshi is not fighting them. He calls their bluff, and that's a decision he's going to come to regret as Cloud9 move up onto 14.
Just so much tension in these rounds. You can see the last one, this one, there's so much on the line, and it feels like MOUZ, they broke down in the clutch towards the very end, right? This missed smoke, you guys pointed it out, you know, didn't help xertioN. He was already in a good position, and then no one checks for Axel. He's the Joker player, he's the short player, right? So you don't expect his name to pop up. Still in a 3v3 and just... Yeah. Cloud9 players a bit more poised.
They got on that bomb so late, and that's the panic for MOUZ, because JDC gives away his position by spraying through the con smoke because he thinks they're on it, and Torshi can't swing because he's low and he's on ramp. Of course they're watching him, and you know, Cloud9, I thought they were going to lose it to the clock there, but they find JDC after the smoke fades, and Torshi, I mean, he can't, like, it looks silly him not peeking, but he can't win that. He knows he can't win that. 10 health, if he swings, there's gonna be cover. You're almost hoping that Shiro's the one fighting you, because then maybe the AWP misses the one bullet. But Shiro, he didn't miss that round. 3 kills. When Cloud9 needed him, he dug deep. 14-10. And MOUZ's money in the bin. Screams a faster round. Might not be their choice. Tech9 and Mac10.
We'll see. Still a chance for MOUZ. A couple of tough rounds to lose, right? Stemming from the Dexter 1v1 to kick it all off. But the money for Cloud9 still isn't great, and their loss bonus is going down more with winning these rounds, right? So it's going to be a harder reset for MOUZ if they manage to do it. But again, obviously their economy is pretty much in shambles. So if they lose this round, that probably means GG.
Oh, how late is Dexter going to go? They're popping out the Axel. Back turn, but the cover from Nafany saves Axel's life. He finds 3 kills with 3 points of health, and Torshi's in an impossible 1v5. Cloud9, welcome to those semis. You are seconds away. This is 15.
Done deal on that one, and that was all in for MOUZ. That was everything they had thrown at the problem, and it ends up being a flawless round for Cloud9 to find 15. Statement way of getting there. Huge save from Nafany here, and then it facilitates this massive mow down round from Axel. 15-10, and Cloud9 were looking for these handful of rounds to start to break away from a scoreline that had really closed up from the 11-1 lead they once held, and that round is the round that's done it. They start to take 3 in a row, looking for 4 in a row to close, and it feels so likely with what MOUZ are going to be bringing with them into this round.
Nafany has had an excellent individual performance in this series, past the first map especially, right? He was a huge piece of the puzzle on T-side Vertigo, got them those last 3 or 4 rounds at the end of the half to actually have a good T-side, and then kept it up in the second as well. And even when xertioN hasn't been going crazy on CT Mirage, Axel has been solid. So this is a reassuring look for Cloud9 in a matchup they lost last time they played. And a barn burner 3 mapper. This one's the same. Nafany not punished. Oh, he turns back. Almost sprays out 2, but Axel again is here. This 1-2 punch between this pair has been so potent.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah, the bounce, bit of trigonometry goes a long way. And a 4-on-2.
Oh, is he going to ace to close? Or no, 4 rather. So no. Knocked out by Frozen. And 3 more still to find. The Deagle left in the 1v3. No control of the bomb. Surely no chance for Frozen. Cloud9 can feel it. This is the last guy they've got to finish off. And with that frag, they've locked in a semi-finals appearance, powering their way through the series. It starts slow on Inferno, but by the time we get round to Vertigo, they close that out. They get to Mirage. They dominate to Open. It gets drawn back out into a longish affair. But once they started to put a...